I'm Johnny Roque. Here's some news. China has added the ability for families to have up to 3 children finally. Now you can have 2 bad kids and 1 good one, just like in America. This is going to be very beneficial to people in China, especially those people that are having triplets. No longer do you have to choose your 2 favorite ones to keep alive. Now you can have all 3 and sell the 3rd one that you don't like. Florida Republican Representative Matt Gaetz allegedly is being exposed by his wingman Joe Greenberg as being an even bigger creep than his face says he is. He allegedly has been grooming women to have sex with other politicians, much like Jeffrey Epstein, before he hung himself. Matt Gaetz has allegedly had sex with a 17-year-old along with several other women that he has paid to follow him around and go on dates. Not real dates, the kind you go on with prostitutes. Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who hasn't had a backbone ever since he stepped on stage with Donald Trump, has said that a new ad is making the United States military look like a bunch of pansies. Ted Cruz compared a military ad from Russia where it showed muscle-bound men jumping out of airplanes and shooting guns to a recent army ad where it was animated and it showed Corporal Emma Malonlord saying that she had 2 mothers and the reason she joined the service is because the US defends gay rights. And for Ted Cruz, that's too much. He'd rather just look at muscle-bound men doing sweaty, sexy things instead of thinking about gay rights being defended. Ted Cruz's military ad preference is the same as his pornography preference. Texas state Democrats late Sunday night walked off the voting floor in order to block a restrictive voting bill. The bill, known as Senate Bill 7, would have reduced voting hours and made voting options a lot more restrictive for those living in Texas. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said that he's going to veto the legislative funding so that the Democrats that walked out on the voting process the other night would not be able to get paid, because once this law gets passed, Texas will have more restrictions on voting than they will have on guns. It would be easier to find an abortion clinic in Texas than a voting box in Texas after SB 7 is passed. Critical race theory, as defined by the Washington Post, is an academic framework centered around racism being systematic and not just done by individuals with prejudices, which is a lot of words to say the truth. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt is creating legislation in order to prevent critical race theory from being taught in Oklahoma. Many Republicans are following suit in order to block this truth from happening because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill banning the teachings of concept that one race or sex is inherently superior than another, that a person's moral character is inherently determined by their race or sex, or that someone should feel discomfort, guilt, or distress on account of their race or sex. This bill and bills just like this make it impossible to teach history as it actually happened. Like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they had a massacre of black people 100 years ago on Black Wall Street, where white people were deputized, given weapons, and then went through the streets and just murdered black people because they were racist, and the entire system that they created allowed it to happen without anybody being punished for it. This bill would diminish the entire Oklahoma massacre down to, well, white people just went crazy that day and nothing ever happened after that. Thanks for watching. Here's some news. If you like me, remember to like, subscribe, share. If you really like me, you can Venmo me money or you can do both. That'd be awesome. Hell yeah. Thanks for watching.